But we're not live in PumpFun yet. Okay, need to figure that out. What's going on? And then we'll begin once I get live streaming on all three platforms. Should be live in all three now, and I'm not having the crazy weird effect that I was having yesterday, which is great because it means it's easier for me to concentrate when I don't have to listen to myself with a 3-second delay. Wonderful. Welcome, everybody, to today's stream. I'm just going to check in with all of our socials just to make sure everything is live. Yep, so we're live on Telegram, live on PumpFun, live on X as well. Great, we're live on all. So yeah, today is day 10. We made it to day 10. This is the final day of entries for the PumpFun Hackathon. So today is closing day. I don't think they've done any extra extensions, so this is it. This is the cutoff. So yeah, this is where I guess we will hopefully start to hear more about winners before too long again. So they've only announced a few so far, I guess, which was kind of weird to be announcing winners before the hackathon is closed anyway. But now that it's closed, I hope that they'll push on and start announcing more projects that are up for winning it. So pretty exciting. There's 10 prizes left, so we'll see how it goes from this point on. Just had some very, very, very good news for the project apart from that, with someone that I was discussing. A little bit quiet, I suppose, on the development front because I was discussing other things, other areas like marketing side of this project with some very interesting people this week. So I think that's ready to go soon. I'm just waiting for their input on what is the best way to release the news, basically. Once I've worked that out with them, then I'll share it with everybody and I'll be able to tell you more about what's going on, basically. Apart from that, pretty good day. I've got some updates, dev updates for you on some of the work that I've been doing, and we're also going to do a live deploy of a big new feature, which will specifically vastly improve the UpScalp premium bot and the UpScalp API bot for me as well. So I'm going to just jump straight into the backlog, I think, because I wanted to highlight a few things here. If anyone is looking at this backlog, if anyone is using it to check the progress day to day, we have this public board, public version of it. Doesn't look quite as nice, but it's the same thing. So I just wanted to talk about a few things that I've added here to the board since yesterday. So I was saying that I have a ongoing task, which is weekly automated research, where I have a bot that I activate once a week, and it goes off and it finds me loads of interesting academic and industry articles, pieces of research, academic research about new areas of best practice in futures trading, new insights, new research. It collates them for me, and then I look at what it's delivered to me, but I also use some AI tools to analyze what it's delivered to me as well. And we're looking for insights that can give us edges, additional edges for the bot. So things that we can implement to, say, maybe add new strategies, add new regime strategies, add new strategies for how we're taking profit and stop losses, setting things like that, add new risk strategies as well. So I've been doing that, and I've added 2. And in fact, one of them is actually so high priority that I've moved it from the idea list into the to-do list. So the first one here is, this is some interesting new research that I saw through that automation that I do. It looks at a co-integration, so like a relationship, symbiotic relationship between BTC and ETH, and in particular the spread between them at any given point. So this academic research was hinting that there's actually signals that you can get from looking at the spread between BTC and ETH. I put a little note, I think, into the card here if you wanted to open it up when you're looking at it yourself to read it. So apparently a mathematically proven stable relationship between the two as an entry trigger. So I'm going to look at that. I'm going to start building a specification for that, that I can then use my agent team to QA it, quality assurance, so they will check it. verify the proposals that I have in it. I may ask them to do a little bit more research on this specific topic as well. I often do that because I've got like a researcher agent as part of this agent team that I've built. I use 7 different agents, and then I'll use the developer agent to help me implement it as well. And then back to the quality assurance agents again to verify it, to verify the code, and then deploy. So yeah, that should actually move pretty quickly. And I think with this one, I'll potentially have a new strategy in the bot that will hopefully greatly enhance how we enter trades. Fingers crossed as an entry trigger. While we're testing, I'll probably test it first of all before I actually make it publicly available. But let's see. I'll see how the work goes in that. So yeah, that's into the idea list. I think that'll be going into the to-do list very, very soon. The other thing I wanted to do was this one was also in the idea list, but then some additional research that I discovered this week through that automated process has maybe push it into the to-do list and make it high priority as well. So this is looking at detecting regime shifts. So when trends are shifting, when the regime is shifting between, say, bear, transition, bull, as the 3 kind of layers of it that I look at. This was hinting at some new research. I don't want to give too much away um, because this is the edge where the bot is coming from. So I don't really want to dive too deeply into what that edge I found is, but I did discover some new research this week that reinforces this piece of research that we found a few weeks ago that actually began this process. So I'm going to look at some kind of machine learning based market regime classification. The research that I found today suggested that you can optimize it by training it on 6 months of BTC data. So I'm going to be doing that. And just that, yeah, this is great for me because it is a piece of research that I initially found. I've done a specification, it's already done, and now I found additional research that also backs it up again with new twists on it, some new information I can use. And this just means that it enhances the original specification that I created. So really, really hopeful there that that should also enhance the edge that the bot has. I wanted to look at one other thing, which is the thing I'm going to do right now, which is over here in the done column. You may see that the thing I've been talking about a lot, which is the signal delivery pipeline. The improvements that I was doing for that, phase 1 of those improvements is now in the done column because it's finished. So I'm delighted with that because this is going to really increase the speed of delivery of signals. So from, I'm just going to go back to the website for a second to look at the process that the bot uses for detection. So we're just looking at this here. From that scan to deliver, that lag, that delay that we previously had from scan to delivery is going to be gone, basically. So it's very exciting. It means that signals will come to you much, much faster. The entries will be retained much better too, because you'll be getting a signal as close as possible to the point of detection. So this is actually really exciting for your edge, for the advantage you have getting the signals as rapidly as possible from the scan detect point, and then they'll be sent out to all users much, much quicker from now on. So yeah, I'm actually going to deploy that right now. Let's do it. So I have it all set up in my little deployer script that I created. We need to restart all of the services for this one because, as you can see, this touches a huge number of the files that are in the project. Okay, let's deploy. So this is how I deploy. So this is a script that I built. Again, it's all about automation. Instead of me having to do this manually, I built this script to do it for me. And the key things that you're seeing here as it's working away is making backups. Fundamental point on development, absolute necessary, is that you need to make regular backups, constant backups. And the amount of times this has saved me, even in this short 5-month period of working on this project, is incredible. Backups are gold dust. You need to make lots and lots of backups and track them very, very carefully, time and date stamps on every backup. You can see here as part of this backup, there is 6 new files that have never been deployed before. So this is adding new functionality, completely new functionality to the bot that wasn't there before. So this is actually a pretty big piece of deployment, big development really. That's it, so nicely deployed. Now we've got to start the new sender service. just going to open a Figma for 1 minute before I do that to talk about it. Grand, because I actually had drawn a kind of a diagram here explaining what I've just done. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, so it was this diagram here that we were looking at before. So basically, this is what you just saw on the website. That was the current cycle. So scanning, detecting potential candidates, validating with the scoring system, checking them against all the risk cases we have, and then deliver. Then it goes into a silent period for a while. In between scans, there is some monitoring of the market happening there, looking for trends, trend shifts and things like that. And then we have back to the top again for the scan. And the problem with that is as the user base grows, that gets slower because the delivery phase delays going back to the next scan. So what we said we were doing in this phase 1 was removing the sending out of the chain here, out of the chain of detection. So now scanning and detecting and the market monitoring is one process. And when we detect potential candidate signals, they're now getting sent out to a receiver. That's where the validation risk framing happens, and then we go into distribution. And what was really great about this is because it detaches delivery from scanning. So delivering the signals to you, the users, does not affect the scan anymore, the scan cycle. So separating out the two of them is just so much more efficient. And what I can do, like in the future, I can do it right now as an example. No, I can't change back to cursor. That's not what I wanted. Like in the future, what I can do here is see if I can select all of them. No, can't. Well, anyway, they're grouped. That's why. Okay, I have to ungroup them first. Ungroup. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Then I can select these guys here. So what I can do in the future if I want to scale is basically I just add another receiver. So then from here, it'll just basically be like that. So if I find in the future that, again, we're straining the capacity of one receiving group, the sender chain rather, I can just make another one. So with this way, I can scale up the delivery process as much as I need to. So I would need something else in here to distribute between the two processes, but yeah, that's basically it. Let's see. Yeah, so there would be another kind of some kind of process here in between the two of them that decides which one of the receivers receives the signals. But yeah, basically you can just scale that up forever. This is some kind of it chooses which receiver to send it to. Brilliant. So with that implemented now, we should see pretty much straight away faster signals. I've just got to start the service itself in the background, so I'm going to do that right now because this is a brand new service, this sender thing. So I'm just going to do that in a minute. I need to do that in a different window. And that should be active then. Okay. Great. So you should see that very, very soon. And safety first, I actually have, just to show you, yeah, here in this, the admin, I've added in the admin bot. Oops. Too many windows open. This one. There we go. So let's just make sure it's here in my settings menu. I should now have a toggle. Yeah. So yeah. So I can turn it on, turn it off here. Great. So I should be able to enable and disable the direct streaming here as well. So if I find that this is not working, I switch it off and it goes back to the old system for streaming. Cool. So that is the major news today, that you should be seeing the stream of these the signals coming and much better entries. Basically, I don't think it was making such an enormous difference to the entries in the past, but now they are as absolutely close to the possible entry as this bot currently can. It's right on the edge of its performance, which is great. And then I am working on the phase 2 of this then, which will be further developments on top of what I've just shown here. And the idea there will be, again, just to even accelerate the speed that the signals get delivered to you, reduce that gap between detection to arriving to you if it's a candidate. So yeah, that's the big development today. Apart from that, as I was saying, there is news in the background. I can't talk about it yet. It's very good. I'm delighted with it. It was something that started about 3 days ago. It's not development work. This is something separate, and it's just something that hopefully will give a nice little boost to the project. Fingers crossed. So as usual, I'm just going to quickly check and see if there are any questions. Let's check in Telegram. Nope. Okay, no questions there. And I'm just going to check on PumpFun as well to see if there are any questions. Nope. Okay, great. So no questions today so far. Not new chats on PumpFun. I'll do comments rather, but I don't think there's any questions. Let me just check to see if there are any questions here. Looks like mostly spam. Yeah, I don't see any questions there. They're mostly spam. Cool. So what I'm going to do today is, because I have a bit of work to do in the background, I'm just going to leave the stream on for a few minutes. I'll speak every once in a while so that you know I'm still here, so that the stream is still taking place. And yeah, but apart from that, I'm just going to be working in the background. I will check in on the socials from time to time to see if there's any comments. So actually, that's frozen. Let's refresh it just to make sure that there's no questions. No, nothing yet. Okay, Grant. So yeah, I'm gonna just leave that there. I'll leave the board open actually, maybe. Yeah, I'll just leave it on that because I'm just going to be doing some work here in anti-gravity on the background. Brilliant. Oh yeah, that's the other thing, major thing. I'm still working on the docs here. Haven't got them in shape that I want them to be live. I know that someone was asking as well in the Telegram group to do some videos, and I will be doing some help videos as well, because again, in my actual real job, like real world job, that's something I do a lot of. I do a lot of video content nowadays. It's the way that content has gone. So I will be doing some nice help videos for UpScalp as well to explain the functionality and how you use the premium bot in particular. I think it's probably the main one, like reading signals, using signals in the premium bot. Cool. So that's it for now. I'm going to be here. I'm going to stay, but I'm going to be in the background, and I'll just be, yeah, watching out to see if anyone has any comments. What I'll do is I'll put the, inside the Telegram bot here for myself, ready to go, ready to read if anyone has any questions for me. But yeah, I'm going to continue in anti-gravity. Working on the new features, working on the next on the list, which is, what is the next on the list? Probably start work on this one, and also on, I need to continue working on, where is the phase 2? Oh, I don't think I have the phase 2 here, do I? No, I have it here, yeah, in testing, okay. So phase 1 is done, phase 2 is testing. Oh, sorry, that's the UpScalp. Oh, I don't think I've got the signal delivery pipeline stuff. It's here, yeah. So I need to move this into in progress. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So that's what I'm going to be working on in the background here. But I will leave the stream on for a few more minutes while I work, so that if you want to ask any questions, I will see them. What I'm going to do is, just out of interest, I'll pull up the monitor so you'll see the bot working away. Actually, after I deploy, it's good for me to do this for myself too. Again, this is the little monitor that I've developed for myself just so I can watch everything as it's working. I want the live logs just so we can watch them and make sure that everything is scanning correctly. Let's see what else we've got there that I can show you. Let's make another instance of that. Let's look for out of interest. Let's look at number 1, the snapshot. Okay, everything is running fine. Recent issues. Let's have a look at that one. Out of interest. Yeah, so this error, those errors there, not too worried about those errors because what they mean is that somebody has not activated the Lightbot in this case. So that represents a Telegram user who hasn't hit start, basically. So they're looking at the bot. They've kind of like created an instance of it by opening the bot, but they haven't hit start. So that one is not too worrying, to be honest. Grand, nothing there. The API bot, yeah, we can have a look at that. Okay, all that shows is just that it's working okay. There's one open long at the minute, and it's doing quite well. Email is 71%. Great. So there's a long open at the moment. 69%, sorry, is the last one. So as you can see there is a long open in the API bot at the moment. That's at 69% profit. Fantastic. Oh, can we go back from there? Grand. Just make a new one. I need to fix that. Should be able to exit that. Yeah, I can show the outcome checker as well. That's that might be interesting to look at. So basically, this is a tracker for the success rates of signals. This one only runs every 30 minutes, I think, because I discovered that it didn't really need to be much faster. I had it running initially when I created this like every minute. So it was restarting a check every minute, and it was just total overkill. So then I was experimenting with it with longer lengths of time, and really 30 minutes, checking every 30 minutes for the outcomes of signals was more than enough. So that's what it's doing at the minute. And what it's doing there is things like it's watching for pairs or strategies that have had multiple losses or multiple wins in a row. So there you got the cold symbol, meaning that these have had a few losses in a row. So they go on the cold list. You got some with the fire symbol there. That means that they're hot. So they've had multiple wins in a row. In that case, yeah, a lot of wins there. Oh yeah, that's great. Nice. Lovely to see. Lovely to see loads of trades hitting their take profit marks. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to leave those monitors running there while I continue to work in the background. Okay, still no questions there. Just periodically checking in on all of the socials just to see if yeah, if there's any questions. Mhm. 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 Okay, no questions so far, I don't think. Yeah, actually, on the right there, the right monitor, you can probably see uh, that was in between scans there. So it was running those additional market checks that I was talking about, like looking for trend shifts at the market turning, for example. Uh, yeah, and now it's just begun a new scan. But and the outcome checker is in its pause in between, waiting for the next outcome check to run.